So I said I'd do this video about this rash or whatever it is. It has healed a lot better, but as you see it, yeah, it's pretty nasty. And I don't know if you see that, but I see a triangle there. And I saw one just before when I did this here at the side. You see that? Let's look on the other side. Yeah, and is that another one there? There's another one there. Now, I posted photos of this. It's unbearably itchy, by the way, and I wasn't sure if it was a DEW attack, because the previous times I've had DEW attacks, they look like blisters that then burst, okay? And at the beginning, this didn't look like blisters, but now I see they do look like blisters that have burst. Some of them do. And this definitely looks infected as well. Here, this one in particular, let's see. And you see Prince is quite agitated. This is what I'm talking about. He gets like that. See if I can see this one. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that one, if this is clear enough. This right there, I don't know if you can see that. To me, that does look like and there's others that look like that too. Yeah, here you see, they do to me look like blisters that have burst. And but it also seems like two different things, because there seems to be another kind of rash here. Do you see how the skin is just blotchy, I think is the word. So the one thing is the spots, the other thing is the spots that look like they could be blisters. The other thing is the blotchy rash, and then the third thing is this right here, which started off, as I said, as some kind of insect bite, but I believe it then turned into what's that word? Scabies, I think so. And I am treating that. This is what I wanted to talk about. I've been treating that with tea tree oil and with neem oil mixed with turmeric, which is supposedly gets rid. I mean, it has actually. I mean, that one's almost gone, the one on my arm, and two other patches have gone completely, and a third one is almost gone, and another one is the last one. It's faded quite a lot. So I believe that remedy works if anyone wants to do that. But I would tell you that it destroys everything. I mean, all my bedding, this thing that I can't show you now, but oh yeah, you see it's discolored. Everything's got yellow on it because of the turmeric. So I don't recommend you know, unless you live in a cold climate and you're going to cover your bed in plastic or something to protect the bedding. I don't know. But it works, it works. Now, the reason why I had thought that this wasn't DEW is that I wasn't seeing geometric shapes, which I did with the other times. And also the other times it made my feet swell up. But of course it's not on my legs. It seems to be on my arms, my chest, and my back, all over my back. But when it was on my legs, it also maybe it's two different attacks, and I don't know. But my legs were very swollen then. So that's that. Then yesterday morning, I guess it was around 8 a.m. I was still in bed. There was an ELF stroke ultrasound attack from a moving vehicle going past. That was quite an intense one, but it only lasted a few seconds. It didn't last a long time. It was clearly from a vehicle going past the house. But the other thing that I'm dealing with is that when I go online on every social media, on YouTube, even on Google, I am being targeted with this exploitation of phobias. And yes, Google, I've posted about this before. It's not just Google, it's any kind of, anything I do online. It can be emails, it can be an online course, it can be even a phone game. And I've posted this. I may actually post the photos on here so you can see what I'm actually talking about. But Google, for example, which is the latest one that's got in on this. Oh yeah, not only Google. I had downloaded a while back some AI apps. Copilot was the one I remember very clearly. That it basically, what's happening is that whoever programs this has programmed it to use my triggers repeatedly, and with the AI, it was literally as if the AI was mimicking the way I speak, okay, which is part of gang stalking. I don't know if you knew that. They mimic. And what they've done to me is that, you see, this is the pretense. Oh, it's just a joke. We're just mimicking you, And why are you taking offense? No. It's firstly that anything that is done by so many people, like literally almost everyone against one person, that is torture. That's really torture, because that is weaponizing the person's whole environment. I mean, you can see I'm always here. I don't go out. I'm terrorized, and I'm imprisoned in my own home. I mean, they even stole my vehicle, so I can't go anywhere, But I'm even terrified to go shopping to the nearest stores because this happens, okay? And this is because I don't go anywhere. They're now concentrating on doing it online. There are actual people doing it, gang stalkers who have put fake accounts. But they've even convinced some other victims to do it as well. You have a police car there going past. Now it's slowing down because there's some workmen. Yeah. So basically, this is how they, with the online thing, this is how they just don't leave me alone. Oh, actually, that's another thing. I don't know if you heard just then. See, I hadn't noticed that I make this little noise, and I don't know if I can do it deliberately, but it's something like, okay. The gang stalkers that are hackers are now altering videos to make it sound like the person who's speaking in those videos is constantly making that noise, you see. This is what I'm telling you. They're pretending that, oh, it's just a little joke. No, it's not. My whole environment is weaponized. So, they're letting me know that they know what I watch, that they know when I'm watching. Because, look, they even can hack into the satellite TV, because they've done that. They did that when I was watching a World Cup game on the day when I went to New Orleans. That I have already done a video about that, when I was really mobbed. And by the way, there are things about that day that I didn't mention in the video, and this is something that happens with trauma victims. It's like, I just, I think it's to do with the dissociation. But when things are just that traumatic, I tend to kind of block it off and forget it. And of course, you see, they use it. It's literally everything that they are doing to the victim, they use it against the victim. like they're using that to say that I'm a liar. So now I'm going to go back and say, I try and cover all the things that happened in that day. The first thing that happened was that the cab driver that picked me up was a gang stalker and did the tongue trigger. And then at the hotel as well, it happened, and it happened in actually at breakfast, and I've took some photos. I don't know what that's, yeah. Unrecognizable people walking past is normally gang stalkers on foot for no reason, you know. But anyway, I don't know. Yeah, in the hotel at breakfast, there was a whole setup with two of the staff and several of the people that were staying there, supposedly staying there at the hotel. I've taken photos of most of them. I may post that. Yeah, pretty much every hotel that I've been to when I've had to go for my ICE check-in, they've done that. Then actually at my ICE check-in, there was more. And then on the way back, on the bus, on the Greyhound bus on the way back, the actual driver, that's never happened before. It's never been the driver. They've always been very good. But on the way back, that driver did gang stalk me, and quite aggressively, and did triggers with street theatre alongside some of the other passengers, and they were mobbing me on the bus. Okay, this was just, it was just awful. And then when I got off the bus, there was, I'm not going to go into everything that happened then, but it involved a marshal, a US marshal. He was a black man, and he was talking to my Uber driver, but at one point he turned around and did the tongue trigger to me. So you see, I find it, when I hesitate like this, is because it's very, very distressing to me. Okay, and I've just posted about this on Facebook. Did you know that emotional distress actually counts as a personal injury? And I'm trying to say this to all targeted individuals. We've been literally tortured and traumatized for years and years and years, hundreds of times every single day. And yet we are being mocked, blamed, and, labeled as crazy for speaking out about it. Okay? For defending ourselves. Verbally, I'm speaking about. Just not even really defending ourselves, only saying what's happening. And that seems to be, by the way, that just naming what they're doing seems to, to these perpetrators, to these traffickers, they take that as a personal attack, just pointing out what they did to me. They take that as if I've attacked them, and that is basically that's their MO, and this is how victims get blamed. And I didn't even know there were words for these things. I didn't know that coercive control existed. I didn't know that DARVO existed. All those things. In case you don't know what those things, you could look it up. DARVO is, I didn't even know it was a thing. I didn't even know. I knew it was happening to me, but I didn't know that it had a name. And it's where the perpetrators deliberately blame the victim and turn it around and play the victim themselves. And I believe this is what's happening. And I believe this is what was happening behind my back, even before I realized, like a long, long time ago. By, for example, listen to, like, Why would you need sirens in a little... You see what they're doing. Why would you need sirens in a little rural town like this, you know? It's not like you got the great train robbers or anything here. See what I'm saying? Listen, let's just listen to that. That, actually, when I was in Georgia, they sensitized me to that. They were coming almost every day. I've got many recordings of it on a phone that they destroyed, but I'm pretty sure that computer forensics can fix that. But you see, that is absolutely not necessary. It's not necessary. There's no crime in this town, you know, except maybe a couple of lads smoking some marijuana or something. Come on, please, you know. Sorry, this is what they... Yeah, it's about keeping the victim constantly traumatized, actually, is what it is. It's terrorism. It's domestic terrorism is what it is. And they know that I'm obviously terrified of the police because it was so traumatic what they did to me. And that was, that the film that is on here, that was one of many illegal arrests. When I was in Texas, the officer wrestled me to the ground. I had bruises and my wrist, when, he hurt my wrist when he put on the... And anyone I tried to tell about this, well, obviously they're in the jail, they were all like, oh, well, you shouldn't have resisted arrest. I wasn't doing anything. I didn't even do anything wrong. So, yeah, all of that really needs to be investigated. But I need to tell you that even being here and not going out of my house, I'm still being... Do you see how they do it? They do it online, they do it with police sirens, they do it with gang stalkers walking past. More often they've got their phones out, actually, and they're like, I don't know if they're actually filming or taking photos or pretending to, but it comes to the same thing if I feel like I'm being watched, because that's the whole point, isn't it? To make me feel